up, Taiwan? I'm Reece with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Seoul says joint US-South Korea military drills are proceeding as scheduled, despite comments from US President Donald Trump to scale back the exercises. In a social media post, Trump criticized the annual drills as costly, adding that they, quote, send an inappropriate and hostile message to Pyongyang. This comes after North Korea reportedly launched 2 ballistic missiles in the lead-up to the exercises. In his post, Trump also referred to South Korea's refusal to help the US with the Iran war. Reuters says that South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff declined to comment on Trump's statements. The US has also recently moved its last aircraft carrier in the Pacific to the Middle East amid the Iran war, raising concerns that conflict is pulling the US from its commitments in East Asia. Our reporter Alan Liu spoke with Ian Chong, an associate professor at the National University of Singapore, to find out more.
Trump says the U.S. will scale back military drills with South Korea, citing what he calls his, quote, very good relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. What signal does this send to South Korea and the broader region?
What message the Trump action send is pretty mixed. So on the one hand, if there is a stable U.S.-North Korea relationship, that's a positive. But if it is read also as a signal of a lack of U.S. commitment at a time when the Secretary for Policy at the U.S. Department of Defense, Albert Jacoby, had been sent around the region to send assurance, then it suggests that the U.S. might possibly be wavering, or at least is having a very confusing position. So I think overall the picture is quite mixed for countries in East Asia.
This also comes as the U.S. has just pulled its last aircraft carrier in Asia to support operations related to Iran. So as the Iran war goes on, should U.S. allies in Asia be concerned about Washington's commitment to maintain its defense posture in the region?
It's really mixed. As I said, the Secretary for Policy, Albert Jacoby, was just out in the region sending signals of assurance and commitment despite the continued U.S. war effort in the Middle East. Now, that having been said, the fact that you have the George Washington being pulled and the fact that it's being pulled to relieve the Abraham Lincoln, which because of its long deployment has been facing mental health issues on board, which suggests questions possibly about U.S. readiness, right? So all these things, I think, again, might give countries in East Asia that work closely with the United States some reason for worry. That having been said, the U.S. also just finished exercise Pitch Black out in Australia, which is a major exercise. So I think overall, there is possibly going to be some expressions of concern, but it's a very mixed and perhaps confusing picture.
We've also seen fewer U.S. military transits through the Taiwan Straits. Is this another sign of a reduced U.S. military presence in the Pacific?
If you look at the pure numbers, a decrease in the Taiwan Strait transits. And you could also add to that the number of South China Sea freedom of navigation operations, right? So for maritime states in East Asia, they might be concerned. But on top of that, we also see the U.S. deploying its Coast Guard vessels, 4 bigger vessels, but still only 4, to the region to suggest that it is trying to stabilize the situation without escalation. It is trying to work with allies and partners. So I suppose what we are getting again is a further reinforcement of this very mixed picture we're getting from Washington right now.
That was Ian Chong from the National University of Singapore. Taiwan's high-speed rail is getting a major upgrade with new Japan-made bullet trains arriving in the country. Our reporter Sandy Chi has the details.
A grand celebration for Taiwan's high-speed rail system, or HSR, as the first of 12 new N700 ST train sets arrive in the country. They're the first new model added to the fleet since its launch over 2 decades ago. The new train is based on Japan's N700S Shinkansen, customized to meet the needs of Taiwan's railway operators. The new carriages are lighter and consume less energy. They also have upgraded passenger amenities, such as charging ports for all seats and more space for luggage. The trains will be assembled and undergo testing over the next few months, with plans to enter service next July. And as the HSR expands its fleet, the company that operates the system could propose fare adjustments for the first time in over 20 years.
高铁已经成为台湾均衡台湾动脉，大家相互依赖不可缺的一部分。因此，让高铁能够永续是高铁公司责无旁贷的责任。其中，财务的永续，我想是首要。
Since it first opened in 2007, the HSR has become a vital part of Taiwan's infrastructure.
高铁的这20年来，其实改变了台湾的都市发展跟台湾的产业发展。过去的20年，我们造就了许多新的都市，在产业的选择的过程当中，也都以高铁车站作为首选。也就是说，这样子的交通运具跟交通的发展跟改革，造成的不只是都市的移转，更造成了整体产业的发展。这对于我们国家的整体发展来讲，这个是有无可限量的产值跟未来性。
Since it opened, the HSR has made over 1 billion trips, with a service punctuality rate of over 99%.
Now, with the first of 12 new train sets here in Taiwan, officials hope that the next generation high-speed trains will be on track carrying passengers next summer, and also with the full fleet in commercial service by 2028 September. John Su and Sunny Chi in Kaohsiung for TaiwanPlus.
Rice farming is a big deal in Japan, but with an aging and shrinking workforce, farmers are turning to robots and other tech to grow their crops more effectively. Aichi reports.
A strange black box glides through rice paddies in the Japanese countryside. It's an AI-powered robot designed to stir up water and soil to prevent weeds from growing. They can even plant their own roots.
The robot autonomously determines how to move, covering the entire rice field over a few days without missing a spot.
That robot helps grow rice for export worldwide, including to Taiwan.
The rice we export to Taiwan is grown using these robots. All I have to do is deploy the robot in the rice paddy, and most of the work is essentially done. It really helps keep costs down too.
These robots can reduce labor costs by around 60% and increase rice yields by 10%. That's critical for an aging and shrinking Japanese population, where the average age for agriculture workers is already 67. Robots aren't the only new tech helping farmers out. Drones can scan rice fields from the air, analyzing which areas are growing well and which need more tending. Tech like this is needed to keep farms going and to attract the next generation of farmers.
We're helping them learn how to be a farmer, teaching them both proper methods and how to use this new equipment. As times change, we want to train up talent that can respond to these changes.
It will take the combined efforts of both fresh blood and new tech to keep Japan's crucial rice farms going, and already, innovations like these are helping to reap a bountiful harvest. Hang Shi and IT for TaiwanPlus.
The AI boom has sent Taiwan's stock market soaring, drawing in young investors eager to build wealth faster. Some are borrowing money to invest, taking on debt in the hopes of bigger returns. But when markets turn, that strategy can lead to bigger losses. Our reporter Lily Lamatina speaks to young investors about why they wanted to buy in and the price some had to pay.
The global AI boom.
AI boom.
AI boom.
The AI boom.
The AI boom has sent Taiwan's stock market soaring. For many young investors, this has created a fear of missing out on this opportunity to cash in. But buying more stocks means having enough money. For some, that means borrowing to invest.
因为主要就是我希望能够快速累积资产，因为其实如果按照本薪这样慢慢存钱的话，基本上我觉得会存很久，然后甚至要买房的话，我觉得也蛮困难的。
Their goal is simple: to build wealth faster. Many young people feel their wages alone are not enough to build the life they want. So they've turned to borrowing money to invest, taking on greater debt in the hope of higher returns.
那我4、5月就是有跟家人借钱，然后就是买了蛮多股票的，对，然后但其实4、5月的状况都很好，就是4、5月就是很夸张，就是你一买就涨一涨，对你可能1个月就涨了5成以上了，甚至翻倍。
This strategy is known as leveraging, borrowing money to increase the size of an investment. Some investors are taking that risk even further, borrowing money to buy leveraged products that can amplify returns, but also magnify losses.
那所以说，其实我们本身那个时候，我信贷再加上这个权证，其实就是杠杆乘以杠杆，所以倍数会放到大概30倍左右，对。所以也就是说，当市场在非常好的时候，赚钱是非常快的，这样子。
For a while, these strategies worked in their favor, but the market can change faster than expected.
但是后来遇到大概7月吧，7月初开始，整个股市科技股来说，整个是大下跌的状态，所以就等于是我原本5、6月的报酬，然后到7月都吐回去了，甚至还倒赔。
When leveraged investments lose value, the debt remains. Mark learned that the hard way during Taiwan's 2022 bear market. With the U.S. Federal Reserve aggressively raising interest rates, Taiwan's stock market plunged more than 20%. But his monthly loan payments continued.
那个时候压力非常大，因为我当时的信贷金额大概是220万，对，那每个月偿还大概需要3万多，对，所以就是这已经超过我当时薪水的1半了，对，所以当时其实压力会很大。
Economists like Dakaran Wu of National Central University warn this debt servicing creates serious financial pressure for young investors.
那一旦跌下来，你用股票融资的这些散户有可能就会被断头。那你如果拿房子抵押，产生严重的亏损，你可能就没有能力去偿还这些贷款。那这个呢，都会对很多家庭在财富或者在财务上会产生一定的压力。
With the AI boom continuing to push stock prices higher, Wu worries that a future market correction could hit young investors especially hard.
那这些科技公司如果更没有办法从消费者那一端去赚更多的钱，那他未来在 AI 的投资上面可能就会减缓。那散户呢，他通常不像法人有这么专业的能力可以去判断股市的涨跌。那再加上当冲的这么庞大的交易量，即使到时候出了问题，我们的国安基金规模只有5000亿，它也没有办法去挡。
Mark, now in his 30s, no longer views leverage the way he did in his 20s. Despite 3 major market downturns, he still made money through the strategy. But he says those financial gains came at a high personal cost.
如果再给我一次选择，我就不会再杠上加杠，这样的方式。对，那因为其实我觉得获利是一个重点。那另外就是说你的身心压力，也是回过来看，就是当时所遭受一个很大的折磨这样。
As Taiwan's AI-driven market boom continues, the question is, how much are young investors willing to borrow? And what happens to them if the market turns? Joseph Wu and Lily Lamatina for TaiwanPlus.
A Taiwanese yo-yo competitor has won silver at the 2026 World Yo-Yo Contest. Twenty-year-old Alan Zhang placed second in the off-string category at the finals in Himeji, Japan, the highest placement ever in that group for a Taiwanese yo-yoer. Japan's Hashimoto Koyo won gold. Zhang pulled off dozens of tricks where 1 or 2 yo-yos leave the string entirely. Former Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen took to social media to congratulate Zhang, who studies medical science at National Taiwan University. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of drones lighting up the night sky in Taipei's Dadaoceng. I'm Reece. Take care and see you next time.